in NDC, I have a video on this particular channel because there seems to be some power play in NDC. And we need to be very careful with that. Now, no, majority leader, Ejina Parliament House, e can't be. Now, all Casano, Sam George is supporting, but you see, a majority leader and the Minister of Government Business, Ekaye.
To seek a third term. I know that. I know that because I read on social media, I listen to conversations, and Ghanaians believe that as a result of the good deeds of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, they don't want him to leave the presidency.
They believe a third term is possible.
And they believe that a third term is possible. And they are demanding for a third term.
Sam George TM because they believe a third term is possible. So a majority leader that Sam George in the could raise that particular argument, A woman's a Ghana for big kaka. I saw for big glad to be come, those kind of things. But in parliament or on the floor of parliament, and a majority leader can say, as a Ghana for Con Dosse, President John Dramani Mahama, and quote third term. But a very normal statement in the house. Now, no. Yero Fifi Kote, the general secretary of the party, I say, he labeled them as sycophants.
Been bootlicking, a spirit that places the people and the well-being of the people ahead at all moments. So these days, it saddens me when I see so much sycophancy creeping into our party. I see a group of people who obviously, from every indication, they believe that singing the praises of a leader is the only way they can survive. And that's why you hear some of those people even urging statements like there should be a third term. It's just nothing but sycophancy. Pure sycophancy and bootlicking of the highest order. Jerry Rawlings, who was the founder of this party, never at any point was urged by anybody to go for any third term. And you have a bunch of sycophants who today think that all they need to do is to sing praises and hoping that somehow those praises will get them some opportunities that they are looking for. You don't love our country. You don't love our party. If you do, you will know besides sycophants. It's important for us to appreciate that this party was grounded on the need to work for our people. We say cadres may go, cadres may come, but the revolution has come to stay. That simply means it is not about individuals. It's about...
Hey, the general secretary of the party was saying, wow, because President John Dramani Mahama, what party we was about 40, NDC party is the president quarter term. They are bootlickers. They are sycophants. Now, JJ Rawlings got in the party, no, or call 2 times or quarter of year. And the Ghana NDC party no or see a some party yen some nipa. It is a team now was a bit some. President John Dramani Mahama, I can't change on quarter tema. We nipa bonini. Hey, senior and some kind idea. I say we there. We need be more some party man. I say there. And I say party. I think among for say I think papa can a different angle. But as a baby or cancer, it's a very direct attack on inclusive in the party. Now, what can I say? The same majority leader, Ejina Simpieso, and you read the fear I can say special prosecutor, you know. A honor beams can say, wow, because you need special prosecutor. No, as a who soon President John Dramani Mahama Fidie. Tim can say, I didn't cause to NDC party me. I say, we become we. Now we are about attack, you know. We become we in the same party. So I didn't understand what is going on there. Now you Musa Dankwah. Name is Musa Dankwah. Ura. We are post or Ghana papa. President John Dramani Mahama. Say yes, well because on quarter term we are sycophanta. A handful na already say. Omo pese omo president no anywhere on beshe ho. But you tia analysis e Musa Dankwah ye ni we will come back to the sycophants in the party and the reason why these sycophants are in the party.
Let's look at the NDC. But let me first tackle those who say it's too early. It's too early. We don't want this. I can tell you that those people who are harboring ambition have set up their teams already. Yes, they won't tell you. And indeed, they have to, because we don't start the game late in the evening. You'll be finished. You start your data work much earlier to inform you where the race was, even the day Mama was sworn in, where it is now. Those who know data know the value of data. But indeed, this work is not meant for them. Our stakeholders are many, including Ghanaians, who are our priority. Besides Ghanaians, there are global organizations who want to know who Ghana may elect after Mahama. Today, they are asking questions. Who will likely be sworn in as president in 2029? You think I have to wait for you to tell them what I think it will happen? So your call and your noise will not stop anything that we are doing, because we're not here for you. We are here for a bigger client. You happen to be consumers of that information. So we're not going to heed to your calls. You shout loudest, we will not mind you. And it is fair for the public to know where things stand and where things might go. Public opinion. It's not a crime. You can pick opinion on anything. Today, it's not a crime. Nobody can send it to court for public opinion. You can disagree with it. You can just shut your ears or close your eyes. And that's within your right. That's within your right. Now, these companies want to know who will lead Ghana in 2029. You know why? Some of the sovereign investors, big time investors who move money, some move their funds to jurisdictions based on policies of the government. Some policies favor certain investors, and some policies don't favor certain investors. They are looking into their portfolio of investment, where to move their investment. So they move X% to Brazil, X% to Africa, or let's say South America, North America, Europe, Asia. They have a portfolio of investment. Those who have not done fast financing before, I'm giving you a bit of a lesson here. The big fund managers move their money globally based on where they believe their returns will come from. And they spread their portfolios, their eggs. They don't put all their eggs in one basket. So some eggs will be in Africa. There will be some investment in Africa. When it comes to Africa, Africa is big. Where should the money go? Should it go to Nigeria? Should it go to South Africa, Botswana, Kenya, Ghana, Ivory Coast, or where? Where the money goes depends on expected return, whether they are investing for short, medium, or long term. Some may want to stay there for maybe 10, 15 years. And if the policy of the government that you expect to be in power for the next 8 years doesn't favor you, they will move their investment to a jurisdiction where they believe the future government would enact policies that will enhance their return on investment. This is big business. This is not Eza or Kukuruishi. This is investment, and the polling help these entities. So some of the clients we have includes Barclays Capital in the UK. They want to know what is going to happen. In the last election, we met a group of investors from New York, from Europe, from Asia, and from South Africa. We had 3 hours meetings going through polling data, asking us questions about who could win the election. And if they win the election, who do you think will be the finance minister? They will have names. They will ask you. So the work we do as analysts goes beyond polling. As a pollster, we go deeper. We engage deeper in the data and advise investors of where we think the direction is going. We are making impact in that way. You think I'll go and tell investors that, oh, it's going to be MBB, NDC, when the fact doesn't support that conclusion? We are a public company. Remember that. So whatever we tell investors, either sovereign investors or strategic investors, is based on the facts, the data we have. We will not depart from data. Even if my father was contesting as a flag bearer, I will not follow the data because I will not follow him because he's my father. No. I'll always go with my head, not my heart. So the investors have interest in knowing who will be Ghana's president in 2029. So if you don't want to see it, please don't come here. Close your eyes. Don't follow our polls. You can tell the media houses not to publish them. But it will be out there. Those who want to see will see. We are getting the request right now. That is why in our polls, you can see that we are even looking ahead in 2020 election. Who would you vote for? Because we want to advise our client that based on what we are seeing, we think MPP might elect this person, NDC might elect that person, and when they elect these two persons and they come head to head, this is where we think the race could go. As of today, we are doing that. For NDC, we have 4 leading candidates that we are pairing against MPP leading candidates. And eventually when MPP elects their candidates, we will drop one of them and then use the remaining frontrunners in NDC to pair until they have their own candidate, and we switch to do MPP, NDC and the rest. So that time will come. So NDC people, don't say that it's not time. If you don't understand why it is time, I think you just keep your mouth quiet a bit and let us do our work. You are just a consumer of our product. You are not the only consumers. MPP, same. So we have a bigger audience or bigger stakeholders we are looking at. NDC has a list, a long list. But eventually, that list will be cut to 4. Why 4? We set a criteria that if you are not getting at least 5% of the popular vote, your name will be put among others. The names are too many. We want to have a narrow field and move on to see what people do. So what are the current polling numbers say? In the past, started with so many names. All the names we can think of in the NDC. From Iwada Akun, Joshua Alabi, Amakofibuwa, Okuvanda Poi, Eriko Poku, Zenato Ajiman Rollins, Nana Opoku Ajiman, Ablakwa, Asiedu Nketiah, Haruna Ibisu, and Atufosi. These are the names, even at times there was Guzitano in it. So we have the potential names that could, come in there and say, I want to contest. So we've kind of covered most of the names over time. But we've realized that over time, the race is beginning to consolidate. And we have some few numbers that few names we're going to be focusing on. And those names are what we'll be taking going forward. So let's look at the NDC list and the permutations. In the current round, the names that were put out there were Eriko Poku, Joshua Alabi, Ablakwa, Julius Deborah, Jinano Poku, Asiedu Nketiah, Atufosi, and Haruna Ibisu. We asked them, who do you think should lead the NDC? Those who mentioned names, Haruna is still leading, 26%. Atufosi, 23%. Asiedu Nketiah, 22%. Jenana, 11%. 7% Julius, 6% Ablakwa, 3% Alabi, and 2% Eriko Poku. These are the preferences of Ghanaians, not delegates. Preferences of Ghanaians. Just like the NDC one, when you have elected your own candidate, you bring that person to the nation for a decision to be made. So the views of the citizens are equally important. Equally important. Now, if you look at this, what you see is that 25% of MPP voters prefer Haruna Ibisu. 21% prefer Atufosi. 22% prefer Asiedu Nketiah. 14% prefer Jenana Opoku. 8% Deborah, and 5% Ablakwa. And if you look at the NDC people, 29% of NDC people prefer Haruna Idrisu. 23 prefer Atiforce. 23 Asiedu Nketiah. So Asiedu Nketiah is tied in NDC with Atiforce. Nana 9%, Julius 7%, Ablakwa 7%. You can see that there are about 4 Akan candidates. Together they make up what? A big number of the percentage among NDC. If you take Julius 7%, Nana 9%, Nketiah 23%, Ato 23%. So 62% of NDC voters go to a candidate. 62. So the accounts are split at the moment because of the way the race look like. When it comes to floating voters, it is split between Haruna Idrisu 23, Ato 23, Mosquito 23, Nana 13%, Deborah 7%, Ablakwa 7%. So this is the nature of the NDC race. Now, if you compare this current data to the previous one, which is in October this year, Haruna Idrisu has declined by 3% from 29 to 26%. Atiforce has moved from 18% to 23%, 5% increase. Asiedu Nketiah has declined from 24 to 22, 2%. Nana, who was 0 then, but she wasn't in, now 11%, up 11%. Deborah was 10%, now 7%, down 3%. Ablakwa 8%, now down 6%. Alabi was 2, now 3. So you could see that the movement between October and December went largely Atiforce and Nanopo. Atiforce because of the budget, we all know that, you can't deny it, the budget, the economy, the sentiment of the people, he gets the credit and he's getting that momentum. Now, realistically, will this race be the race we're going to see in NDC? Let me do a bit more of analytics than just the numbers. Look, NDC has 4 caucuses. The Northern Caucus, the Akan Caucus, the Ewe Caucus, and then the Ghana Caucus. At the moment, Mahama is from the Northern Caucus. And when you are in a group of that nature, you tend to appease everybody so that the people will stay united. If you are seen to be disproportionate to one group, then the other group may begin to complain. NDC is not MPP. I repeat, MPP is not the same as NDC. MPP can elect a candidate anytime, any day, anywhere. They won't be hue and cry. We saw them depart from that Akan tradition and went for more the Bani tradition in the last election, trying to broaden the base. But it is not a must that MPP must always elect non-Akan, because the base is Akan. So if they do so, it's because the base is majority. If the base decide that we are okay that it goes with the Bani, that is their choice they have made. And that is delegates deciding that we want to go this way or that way. When you come to NDC, they are what we call frefrekobo, small group here, small group there, small group there, small. So you must keep unity to keep the group stronger. So on that basis, it will be very difficult for the Northern Caucus to argue that they should be allowed to go again. That, I think, it is a given or open secret. So Haruna Idrisu somehow has been disadvantaged with Mahama's presidency. Then the other options will be what? The Akans, the Evers, and the Gandangis. So the candidates that we have, which of them is stronger among the Akans, among the Ewe group, among the Gandangis? Then you see that the Akans appear to be very strong and dominant, and they get most of the support. But the Akans in the end must choose one of them, one of their own, or they will split their vote. So whoever is able to court the other groups to form an alliance with them, a coalition with them, will eventually emerge to lead NDC. If Asiedu Nketiah is able to form an alliance with the northern sector or Harun's faction and is able to draw support from the Ghana Dangbe and the Ewes, he will by no means be the NDC flag bearer. If somehow Jinana decides to stay and contest, and maybe I don't see Atufosin going against Jinana, absolutely no way. If Jinana contests, Atu will not go. Then the accounts will look at whether Jinana is the person to support and who will the other blocks support. If it is Mosquito, can he put alliances together? If it is Atufosin, can he put alliances together to form a broader coalition to enable him to compete strongly? Let me tell you what's going to happen. If we take Haruna Bisu out of the race because we think North will not be something that can be sold to the delegate, and we say that Jinana Opoku, by her age and physical condition in terms of health, may be difficult for her to really run a national campaign in 2028 when she will be around 76 years old. So on that basis, let me say I'm putting her on the side. Then you have Asiedu Nketiah, Atufosin, Julius Debra, Ablakwa, Alabi, and Egobogu. Who would the voters prefer? When we did that, Atufosin jumps to second place with 37% of the vote. Asiedu Nketiah 33%. Debra goes 12%. Ablakwa 11%. Alabi 4%. 3% Egobogu. So if somehow we are able to confirm Haruna and Jinana will not go, then the pairing will change for us. They will probably use Atufosin, Asiedu Nketiah, Debra, and Ablakwa. But until then, we use the first race to determine the top four. So when you do that, then you see Atufosin suddenly leading. Interesting thing is that if you add the vote of the young people, if you add Atufosin 37, Ablakwa 11, that gives you 48%. Nearly 50% of the voters are voting for two candidates, Atu and Ablakwa. Nearly 50%. And the remaining 52 is going to 4 other older people. Does it make sense? Does it say anything? It tells you that people are yearning for younger people. If assuming, in fact, I don't know how old Egobogu is, maybe around 58, Julius around 58 as well. So even out the vote of these young people, you can see that they outnumber Mosquito and Alabi, who are probably around the same age. So the age dynamics is playing here from the eyes of the public. Now, if we say that, okay, let's look at a race where Julius Debra, maybe if Atufosin is doing well and the system you want to support Atufosin he may not contest against Atufosin. And same thing applies to, let's say, Ablakwa, and that cabinet members may probably collect around somebody that they may support. And if that members of cabinet want to collect around one person, I think that person may be Atufosin. So that's the basis that we say, okay, let's do the race with Atufosin, Asiedu Nketiah, Alabi, and Egobogu, because we've seen that he is very ambitious. He still wants to try his luck, and I believe we should keep him to see how the account goes. So here you can see that there are 3 accounts and 1 guard. Egobogu is an account, Asiedu Nketiah from Akan region, and Atufosin from Central Akan. So if this were the race, how would people vote? The general voters. Atufosin 48%, Asiedu Nketiah 41%, Alabi 6%, and Egobogu 5%. So these are the numbers we have in this place. What we'll be doing in the future is try different permutations to keep Haruna in the race, and then see if we can change, just so that we can have better understanding of what is going on. Look, some of the things people may think may not be necessary, but for us, it gives us an insight. We're able to see the behavior of people, not the party leaders or not the candidates, but the behavior of their followers. When you take out Haruna, where do Haruna people go? It will tell Haruna that, oh, naturally it means that if my people go to Asiedu Nketiah, that is where my alliance should go. That is an insight. It's not just a number. If Haruna's numbers go to Eregobogu, it means that's where the alliances must go. But he may ask, will Eregobogu win? But normally people are very smart. People will go to people that they think realistically they can lead. So you see that some of the voters for Haruna Iddrisu will go to Atufosin. Some will go to all the rest. But who gets the biggest share is where the alliances must be forged. And this is the data that you need to have. You don't have to wait until they say, you'll be losing the race. You'll be losing. You go and form wrong alliances, and that will blow up in your face. So people are seeing this data and see how their people are behaving. The question is, would NDC delegate behave in the same way? Are NDC delegate behave the same as the public? That's $1 million question. What we will do going forward, sometime next year, before NDC goes to elect their polling station executives, we will run a public poll of NDC delegates and who they prefer among all the candidates, who they prefer, for the public to know. And then when they've gone to elect their executives in July, after that, we'll repeat those polls, because those are the people who are going to elect the eventual flag bearer. So we can compare the pre-election, who was leading and where were these people in terms of the ranking. And after post-election, has the numbers changed or they stayed the same? This would inform us as to what changes we may expect down the line. And that is the data that we need to have. Our predictions and behavior of voters is not based on whims. It's based on observed phenomena, observation of certain pattern, and see whether that pattern is consistent and whether that pattern becomes a trend. And that trend becomes a reality. And that's how pollsters do their work. Polling is not a small business. It requires rigor, it requires patience, it requires tenacity. And the pollsters must be honest. I can tell you for a fact, we have been approached by many to compromise for them. We have refused. Some come in the media and insult us. We will not mention names, but it's unprofessional to do that. But we know people who have approached us to corrupt us. We know them. We will not mention anybody's name, but they know themselves. If they had succeeded in corrupting us, trust me, we would have been in the news big time. You can say we are NDC, we don't mind, I don't mind. You can say I am Baumia, I don't mind. And some are even going to say that because I am a Muslim, I am promoting Muslim candidates, Baumia and Haruna Iddrisu. Look, I don't temper with figures. If people say they want Haruna Iddrisu, so be it. Our leader cannot change anything. If people say they want Baumia, so be it. If people say they want Haruna, so be it. We don't falsify data. We are not. No, we don't. We have integrity at stake. We have made a promise to this country and promise to the nation and a promise to the whole world that will be our go-to, their go-to for accurate and sincere data and nowhere else. Do I live on polling? No.
All right. Anyway, nti yera Musa Dankwah eno. Musa Dankwah say why adwuma bebre. Na was say NDC mu ne de obele metene to 4. Ada say Atufosin beba, Prof na energy beba, yera Johnson Asiedu Nketiah beba, and as Haruna Iddrisu beba. But according to him, no, President John Dramani Mahama, the mere fact of free north, no, and Magana for side another northern about any meaning say elimination by rough status and Heer NDC is out. But you listen to it very, very carefully. Elimination by rough status and Heer NDC is out. And Timon will say, Abra, the general secretary of the party, could say, Ebi we a sequel fans and bootlickers, no. It means Ebi my imagine say, oh, say northern a corner, not from Monday and northern and twas one will be an direction econo. And according to Heer Musa Dankwah, Ghanaians or NDC will prefer to get somebody from the south, an account person. But a account person, and so no, he believes to say, Heer Johnson Asiedu Nketiah to forcing Eboso. But he went further to say, it seems say NDC for a younger person. So if we go by that direction, that means Heer Johnson Asiedu Nketiah why then everyone no living at forcing over there. Professor Nana Jane is out. Now the mere facts are to forcing. So every central, not Prof Nana Jane, every central, and it was a Prof bar at forcing will also be out. At forcing a bar, Prof will be out. Well, how I go in here. Anyway, in the comment section, waiting to arrange it. Nipa ufi say NDC the neko by this time Heer Musa Dankwah say there be so because say too earlier or say no koresa. Anye too early. Because the mere fact say President John Dramani Mahama nanka say Gina Simpi so can say on quarter term. The constitution of the party or the country man in quarter term. Not the national chairman and the general secretary because man in quarter term no. It means by 2027 no. By 7th of December 2027 it was NDC. Ewo nipa ya to aba yi ni dada. Ya de ko 2028 election no. Enti hwan na opese nipa de ko. Do you think say General Mosquito en lead na to forcing enye na running mate? An officer to forcing en lead na Samija Mfi enye na running mate. An officer to forcing lead na Zenato enye na running mate. Or how do you balance it? In the comment section wait me to adventure aba. Haruna Idrisu. Of course, always royal. Based on what Musa Dankwah candidate seems say Haruna is out because President John Dramani Mahama, if you know for there, another northerner cannot come. So in a way, no, Haruna is out. So elimination by rough status. Yeah, you know. So I don't know who the Siko fans here are. Siko fans, no, you better do some. Yeah, compare Maba. On here for the Moya margins, I won't wear Siko fans here. Oh, I'm no. Prof Nana Jane was also out. So that is something that Musa Dankwah can, because if Ghanaians want a younger person there, it means that he's also out. But anyway, I was here for, and then with the best you have. Na yahade. And Haruna is also out always. So they will say ato forcing way off. And ato way off. Do they I say ato but Musa Dankwah can be aside say ato way off. No say ato it will manage Ghana's economy very well till 2027 there will be the likelihood say Ghana for Ebedono. But so mismanaging it is any Baumia after 1 year a title from the Ato is also out. Hey, I go away. Ebedo. A black one, they mentioned them feeling this. Mentioned no current, maybe mum they mean feel a black one. But anyway, a black one, you be coming. But me mum they mean feel, you know. Praise the Assembly. You should know how the wise think and behave by now. You know what I mean? In the interest of the well-being of the nation. Of course, because you are right. I mean, yes, say Brunibia per se, African developers are. So, that is what I think. Say they want always us to be doing. So, maybe I don't believe. Say, I'm for when you say if we have any power to leave them behind and then develop our own thing, we should leave them behind and then do our own stuff. But the means so there we need them. That's it. You need to be anyway, and then me the best you are. Now, before I go, no, just say I jump by Bobby if you chama won't tomorrow. But just all question here in the comment section of our adventure bra. Na in common home. Chairman, you go until the empire 1 hour. We are sign for the to my wife. So
Israel Yahuwah Elahenu Yahuwah Ekat. We ahata et Yahuwah Elohika bika luvika. Uvika naveshika. Uvika miyodika. Tode yasach. Todi Yasak. In English, in the name of Jesus. Mach Israel Yahuwah Elahenu Yahuwah Ekat. We ahata etz Yahuwah Elohika bika luvika. Uvika naveshika. Uvika miyodika. Todi Yasak. Todi Yasak. Todi Yasak. In English, in the name of Jesus. Mach Israel Yahuwah Elahenu Yahuwah